Hi, my name is Samantha and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about 600 jar opener prep. Let's get into it. So today that I'm recording this, it is February 1st. So I spent all of January getting ready for the 600 jar opener challenge. That included serging, pre-washing, drying, ironing, cutting, and getting that's all the fabric, and then getting all of the other pieces ready to go. This is year 5 of the 600 jar opener challenge. So every year it gets a little bit easier because I have plans from last year that help me get better for every upcoming year. So last year I wrote myself a checklist to make sure that I had all the pieces that I need before I started. Every year something has gone wrong, whether I didn't have tags, my machine broke, what else went wrong? My walking foot didn't work. So I didn't order enough tags the one year. I didn't have a walking foot that worked. My sewing machine went bad. I had to buy a new one. And the first year it went well, right? And the reason this whole thing even came about was in 2021, I had sold 481 jar openers, and I was like, okay, well, I want to try and make 600 or 500 every year. I was like, oh, let me just try and do 600, right? Because I want to restock the inventory that I had from last year. Now, that doesn't mean make 600 of the same pattern. I want to try and make sure that I have as much variety of patterns as possible. At this point, my inventory of jar openers is well over 1,000, so it's not as much about the quantity as the variety of patterns. Last year in total, I sold 499 jar openers. So I didn't even sell 600 jar openers last year. Last year was not a good year. I also don't have high hopes of this year being a good year. My plan this year, if I end up doing 0 craft shows, is we're going to do a second 600 jar opener challenge. So that would be 1,200 jar openers. And I obviously have plenty of fabric here, so we don't need to go get any more fabric specifically for this. However, I told you guys in the haul video that I had ordered the Missouri Star Quilt Co. fabric, and that did come in a couple days ago. So I am gonna go ahead and record a video and show you guys that fabric. But anyways, my checklist from last year, it was 600 pieces of fabric, sorted by directional and non-directional. It doesn't matter as far as like in some of the sewing steps, whether it's directional or non-directional. What matters is when I put the tag in, it has to go in a certain spot if it's directional, so I need to be aware. So when I pack my bags, which I use 2-gallon Ziploc bags, I want to make sure that the directionals and non-directionals are separated. When I washed them, I separated them by color. So I did 6 loads of laundry to be able to wash all the fabric, and then I sorted them by directional and non-directional. I needed 600 pieces of shelf liner, which is all the piles you still see here. 1,500 meters of white thread. So that is my thread right here. 1,000 meters of tan thread. So I have my tan thread right here. Bobbins, I need 20 white bobbins. So I have them all prepped right here, 20 bobbins. We're gonna go through all of these. And then 14 tan bobbins. So I have all of those right here. So we're gonna go through 35 bobbins this year. And then 600 tags. I ordered a ton of tags because I knew I was doing this project and I had other stuff I wanted to do. I order my tags from overseas, so they take a while to get here, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just being prepared, unlike the one year. And then deep clean my sewing machine, which I already did, and have spare parts. So these are the parts that I paid the sewing shop like $400 or something, $300 to fix my machine, whatever it was. And these were like 20 bucks on Amazon. So if the thing goes wrong with my sewing machine that happened before, I can replace the parts and I don't have to wait for them to come either. I have them right here. And then as far as packing the bags, we are going to use 10 bags this year instead of 8. Last year we did 8 bags. This year we're going to use 10. So I have a fresh box. So there are 10 bags in here. And then I have these sheets of paper, which are the same ones from last year. So I just have them like lettered so that I know what each bag is. So I know what I'm working on. And then I added 2 more letters, I and J. So we'll put these in each bag so I don't have to write on the bag itself, so I can reuse the bag multiple times. I'm really loving these 2-gallon bags rather than the 1-gallon bags for sewing room things. They're very helpful. Okay, as far as everything that I had cut, so ironing, I don't know how long serging and washing took. Serging probably took like 2-3 hours, something like that. I think it was like an evening or two. Maybe it was more like 4. I don't know. Serging took however long, and then like I said, it was 6 loads of laundry, like full loads, mass capacity, and then it took 9 hours to iron everything, and then it took 25 hours to cut everything. It took 11 hours to cut the non-directionals, it took 10 and a half to cut the directionals, and then it took an hour and a half to cut the shelf liner. And for the all the cutting, I have all of the trash here separated. Like this is all of the this is like the selvage edge, and then we have the edge that I serged. We have the scrap of the lint roller I had to use. So we've got the directionals, we've got the non-directionals, and then we have the shelf liner. So this is just gonna go in the trash so that we don't hoard extra fabric. So I'm gonna go ahead and move these out of the way. And then, so of the fabric that I had ready, I was able to cut 240 non-directional jar openers and 286 directional jar openers. So I needed to pull, if I was doing sets of 4, I needed to pull, I think it was like 17.5 additional fabrics. So I ended up pulling 18. So these are the fabrics that I pulled from my stash. So we ended up with this many leftover comic book boards and this many to go back on the shelf. If you want to see how I put these on the comic book boards, I have a whole video about that. I absolutely love the storage method, and we're going to also need to use these for the leftover fabric. So my plan was I cut everything the exact same way so that I got jar openers, tissue pouches, and wine bags, and all the scraps are the same size. Well, not necessarily all exactly the same size, but they're as close to the same size as I can make them, because I want to be able to use the scraps to be able to make the same thing out of all of them. So for the fabric that was only wide enough to cut one of everything of the grid of how I planned it out, I was able to get 32 jar openers, 18 interior tissue pouch pieces, 132 exterior tissue pouch pieces, and 33 wine bags. And that's because I was able to cut 4 jar openers, 6 tissue pouch insides, 4 tissue pouch outsides, and then 1 wine bag. And then for the doubles, so the fabric that was long enough to go across what I wanted and then back again, so I was able to cut 2 and I had it stacked. I cut 72 jar openers, 108 tissue pouch interior, 72 tissue pouch exterior, and 18 wine bags. And then of the scraps, so those were like the random pieces, and I like just did my best to like squeeze all the things I could. My goal was to at least get 4 jar openers out of each one. I got 72 jar openers. So for the directionals, there was 60 different patterns accounted for, and we were able to cut 276 jar openers. And then for the directional print, so when the print goes in a certain direction, it's not like all over the place or solid. I was able to cut 72 of the jar openers, 108 of the tissue pouch interior, 72 of the tissue pouch exterior, and 18 of the wine bags. So those were the ones that I only cut 1 of each. And then for the ones that I could cut 2, I did 136 of the jar openers, 204 of the tissue pouch interior, 136 of the tissue pouch exterior, and 34 wine bags. And then I had scraps that I could get 4 jar openers and scraps I could get 3 jar openers. So of the 4, I got 104 jar openers, and of the 3s, I got 18. Wait, no, I didn't. That's not right for some reason. Something's wrong here. But it was able to be 330 jar openers. So in total, the patterns, what did I write down wrong? 3 times 6. Okay, I wrote something down wrong. So of the scrap fabric that I had 3 of, I got 18 jar openers. So for the directional prints, there was 54 different patterns. So in total was 60 patterns and 54, so 114 different patterns. In total, we cut 606 jar openers, Tissue pouch interior, 618, tissue pouch exterior, 412, and wine bags, 103. And then the tissue pouch interior and exterior, if we add those together, is 1,030. But this does not count that. So the length of fabric, let's say I was trying to cut 20 inches. That's not the number, but let's say it was 20. If the fabric was like 29, then that little chunk at the end, I tried to cut things out of as well. So I have a pile of my fabric on my fabric table of things that like I was able to cut one wine bag or a couple tissue pouches. So I cut more than what I'm saying here. These are just the ones that worked perfectly in the grid that I wanted. So I probably cut like 2,000 pieces of things. And then of the jar openers, so of the perfect cut, if it made it exactly how I wanted, it was 18 cuts. 6 of those cuts were jar opener cuts. So that means 33% of the time I was cutting jar openers. So if you want to take the total cut time, which was like 21.5 just for the fabric, and then we also have to add on the shelf liner, but shelf liner was only for the jar openers. So 22 and a half hours, 33% of that was just jar opener cuts. However, I love cutting it like that because cutting stresses me out a lot. I don't want to make mistakes. I made like maybe 3 or 4 mistakes while I was cutting, but all of them were like small enough that I'll be able to like fix it and I'll still be able to use it. But it definitely really stresses me out. Like fabric isn't cheap and I make a lot of effort to be able to make these things. So like I want to make sure I cut it as efficiently as possible and I can get the most out of every single piece of fabric. So that's why I do not record myself cutting and I do not rush myself cutting either, because I want to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. So we are going to get all of these jar openers made in February, and then the tissue pouches and the wine bags we will be making later this year. And we do still have tissue pouches and wine bags left over from last year. Both the tissue pouches and the wine bags require a second piece of fabric, whether that's the interior or the exterior piece. So it's a little trickier to make them because you have to match 2 patterns that go together. I typically like using solids. So I do have my solids over here that I did not cut into jar openers. That's because I wanted to set these aside. 1 for wine bags because I need a bigger piece of fabric, and 2 for the tissue pouches. Like if I cut those into tissue pouches, this would be a lot of tissue pouches. So I just want to make sure that I had plenty. Oh, and then the last prep thing that I have is I have a ton of needles right here. I'm not going to use all of these, but I wanted them out and right by my station so I knew exactly where they were. And then I have an old medicine container so I can put my bad needles in here. So the last thing that I need to do to prep in order to get started on the jar openers is I'm going to use the freezer bags here, and I'm going to put sets of 60. So that's why I have the shelf liner already in stacks of 60. Sets of 60 in the bags. So if I could open this box. Okay, so this is what the bags look like. And for some reason, Walmart is the only one that sells the two gallon. Like you can't even buy a Ziploc 2-gallon if you wanted to. It's not an option. They don't have it. But there is the piece of paper with the letter. And then I will put the shelf liner in here. And I will put 60 pieces of fabric in here. So this bag will be bag A. So these pieces will stay together from now until the end of February, and I will work on a bag at a time. And I found that like that's really helpful because then like if I have to leave the house or I don't know what I want to work on when I'm at home, it's very easy to just like pull each bag and not have to like bite off the whole thing, right? Like I know exactly what I'm working on. So today, so February is really awesome. The calendar is actually like a perfect square. So today being Sunday, February 1st, my back and my neck are killing me from standing over and cutting for 20 hours this week, 24, 25, whatever it was. My back and my neck are killing me. So I am going to sit on my butt and watch TV, and I am going to work on 5 bags. So A through what? E. I'm going to take them and I'm going to do step 1, which I do not have to be at the table. I do not have to be at the sewing machine. And I'm going to get all of those prepped because the next step is at the sewing machine. And so that way, Monday through Friday this week, when I get off work, I can just go straight to the sewing machine and start working on the bag. Next weekend, I am debating whether or not I want to try and accomplish a bag from start to finish. So if it takes me about 8.5 minutes per jar opener, a bag of 60 should take me about 8.5 hours. So I'm debating on Saturday or Sunday of next weekend to try and do a bag from start to finish, and whether or not I want to do a live from start to finish. Let me know if you guys would be interested. It would definitely be like moving around to different places a lot. Like I would not just be sitting at my table the whole time. So let me know your thoughts. I think it'd be pretty interesting. I think it'd be cool to be able to try and like bring you along and also challenge myself to like get it done. But yeah, that's my thoughts. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the fabric in the bags with the shelf liner so that I can go ahead and get started on this project. I want to show you guys what the tables look like that I have them cut up on. I have 2 4x2 tables. These are the same tables that I use for shows, and I have the perfect cuts, and then I have the off cuts that had extra, and then the extra pieces of fabric. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys those real quick. Here are our 2 tables. So we've got the directional or the non-directional over here, right? So these patterns go every which way. So this here is the cut that was perfect, right? So we've got the quad of the jar openers, then we have the tissue pouch, wine bag. So this is scrap, 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 but they are the same dimensions, right? And then over here is like if I could cut extra wine bags, or if there was like a strip left over. Up here is if I could cut extra tissue pouches. And then this fabric is like if it was a lot of extra fabric left over. So these need to go on the comic book boards. This side over here is the directional. So we've got the jar openers over here, tissue pouches, wine bag, scrap, 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 extra wine bags. There were a lot less on this side than the other. Tissue pouches, and then if there was extra fabric. And then the shelf liner is all cut up right here. So that is all of the pieces. It is crazy when you see them like this. So now we just need to go get them all in their bags. Okay, now that I showed you what the fabric looks like, I just wanted proof of how pretty it looked. I'm gonna go ahead and get them put in the bag so I can get started on this project, and I will possibly see you guys this weekend for a live. If not, I will see you on February 11th, I believe is the day, for our Wednesday work in progress. I'm looking forward to hearing what projects you guys are working on, and I'm excited to share how the jar opener challenge is going along. And then not at the end of this month, but next month, I will have a video put together of like different clips throughout the time of making the jar openers. But I'm really confident that I'll be able to get this done. I'm wondering if I can get it done faster than last year. Last year, we spent 83 hours last year. So I'm thinking we could go even faster this year. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.